Nikki D from 5 Dog Farm, and I am here bringing you a fun and simple snack to make in your dehydrator. We bought a bunch of apples, got a really great deal on some apples, and we weren't able to get through all of them. So I made some rosemary apple jam, and I made some apple chips. And I didn't make just plain apple chips. I had a few seconds to myself, and I wanted to do something a little zippier. So I made spiced apple chips. They left the building. They were gone. Everybody really liked them, and I was surprised at the taste. They were really yummy. It wasn't just sort of like, well, I should eat this thing, it's good for me, it's an apple, it's better than a potato chip. Or I usually like to have a snack in a bag if we're traveling somewhere or heading out, and instead of eating out, I like to have little snack bags of things. So I thought these apples would fit the bill, fill you up, good for you, inexpensive, but they actually are really tasty. So I wanted to share the recipe with you. It's very easy. This recipe is for using 6 apples. I used Honeycrisp here. You peel them, which I've already done. Be sure to save your peels. You can either make apple cider vinegar, which I keep threatening I'm going to do. I am going to do it. I did it once in Wisconsin and it was great fun. I just haven't had time, and the weather has been a little too cold. You do need the room to be about 70 degrees to make a good vinegar to get that ferment going, and we haven't had that lately. So you want to peel your apples like I've already done. Everybody knows how to peel an apple. But what I wanted to show you is I have this really cool little corer thing because I like the nice holes, because that's who I am. So I just use, you don't have to, you can cut it in half, cut it in quarters, and just kind of cut it out. Or when I didn't have this, I used a melon baller, whatever. Just, you know, get the seeds and that little hard part out. So with the corer, the interesting thing is you could sit here and pull and tug all day long, and it's very hard to get the last one out. However, when you're doing 6, you don't have to do that on each one of the cores. You just leave it in, and then you go to the next one, and it takes that one out. So the only one you have to struggle with is the last one, and it's kind of a pain, but it goes so much quicker. It leaves the little perfect holes, which makes my world happy. So there you go. If I could suggest to you, if you have the ability to get a good mandolin, not the one you play, the one you cut on, get one. I've had different price ranges of mandolins. It's not like plain wrap lettuce. Lettuce is lettuce. The less expensive ones are a little bit more difficult to work with. If I'm working with something that has a sharp blade on it, I want it to work well. I don't want to get cut. So I also enjoy, especially when I'm dehydrating, having the cuts all even. It helps your dehydrating time. You're not getting those spotty pieces where something is thicker than the other. And I do like to practice my knife skills, which I did before I got this out of storage, but it saves so much time. There are a couple of ways to do this. I happen to own, but have not come across yet, one of those knife shield gloves. It's the coolest thing. It's like a woven fabric. And I'm sorry, I don't remember what it's made out of, but if you were to mistakenly touch the blade, the fabric doesn't cut. It's amazing, and it's somewhere still in my boxes that I have not unloaded. Most good mandolins will come with a little grabby bar. Use the grabby bar. I have never cut myself on a mandolin because I've always been very careful, and plan to continue doing so in the future. So, boom, done. Ha! Yeah, I know, it's great. Really, try to invest in one. So, give your apple slices their uniform chop. I'm throwing them in a bowl here with 3 tablespoons of fresh squeezed lemon. Let me get this out of the way. So I already have that in here, and I'm just moving them around. You can add a splash of water if you want to make sure that you really coated all of the pieces. The lemon is twofold. You are going to get a really good flavor on your apple. You get that little bit of tartness that hangs in there, and you keep them from browning, which is nice. Dehydrating is a whole different beast, and while I've done it for a while, it's always been sort of basic things. I did terrible with banana. I even put the banana in the lemon, and it still got brown and wonky, and I just don't think I'm going to do banana. But recently I did mashed potatoes. I found the process to be a little cumbersome, even though I used an Instant Pot to speed it up, and I will do a recipe for you guys and show you to speed up the mashed potato thing. The cumbersome part came in the grinding of the potatoes. I wanted a lot, you know, I didn't want to just do enough for a serving or two. And I ended up turning the grinding over to Chi-Chi, who, she did a great job. She just did her thing. She sat there with the food grinder and ground away, but it's kind of cumbersome. I'll tell you, the potatoes I found to be the best bang for the buck in your time were scallop potatoes. Same thing, mandoline, and just put them on your sheets. Done. Love that. Maybe later in time when I have more time, I'll go back to the mashed potato, but we like scallop potatoes, so that's fine. All right, so those are thoroughly coated. Now, you want 3 tablespoons of sugar. I'm using organic sugar. I guess I could grab a spoon, but what the heck, I'll use my hands. And then your spices. This is kind of up to you. You're going to end up using a teaspoon and a half of cinnamon, because I wanted the overall flavor to be cinnamon. Your other teaspoon and a half is kind of up to you. You could use apple pie spice. You could use pumpkin spice. You could use allspice. You could use nutmeg. In the case of what I did a half teaspoon of allspice, and I did a full teaspoon of nutmeg because I really like nutmeg, but you can mix it up and do whatever you like. And the full recipe will be on the blog at www.5dog.farm, where this video will also reside. So just dump all of that in, use your best utensil, and get it all mixed up in the bowl. That always helps. So get it all mixed up so all your layers are coated. It might take a little bit. You might need to separate them. And I'm going to go ahead and continue getting this done. I'm going to get them loaded into my new favorite dehydrator. I have Nesco, I have Presto, and they have all been workhorses for me over the years. But the Cosori has spoiled me. The price was amazing, and it does such a good job. It does such a good job. I love the stainless steel trays. Cleanup is so much easier than using a plastic tray. I had threatened to get a new dehydrator for years. And then I finally just followed through on my threat, and I kicked myself. I wish I had done it earlier. But I love it. If you're able to up your game dehydrator-wise and get a stainless steel tray dehydrator, do it. It's well worth it. So I'm going to continue mixing this up here, get this loaded up, and then I'll come back and show you the finished project and how I store these little lovelies, because believe it or not, I'm hoping I make enough that can be stored and not just eaten. I'll be right back. Okay, the apples are loaded up into the dehydrator. The dehydrator is running. It's so quiet. I'm telling you, I can't say enough. I really love this dehydrator. And I have to confess, I have 5 dehydrators. I fell into some sales. I had one that I bought that was just a jerky maker, even though it's just sort of the dehydrator of the old days with one temperature, and that's that. Yeah. So when I dehydrate, I have the ability to do a lot. In the future, I found some plans to build a solar dehydrator, and Justin and I are looking forward to doing that down the road. It's a really cool looking thing on wheels, and I'm looking forward to doing that. You can do a lot. I think there's 12 really big shelves in that dehydrator, so in time, hopefully, we'll get to do some videos with making that and then using that. In the meantime, I wanted to show you how I store certain things that I dehydrate. Some things I powder, usually not right away. I prefer to store the item, celery, parsley, carrot, whatever I'm going to powder, using a food saver, opening the pouch and then powdering, instead of powdering a large amount and then I feel kind of having some of that flavor or nutrient or what have you that's still in it drift away, so to speak. But everybody does theirs differently. One thing I forgot to mention in the recipe, again, you'll find it on the blog, is I also add vanilla extract. I just like the boost of flavor that it gives. It's almost like having a candy. So how I pack these with the intention that they're going to be staying around a while is using my food saver. I like to make pouches. So this actually, I cut the size of food saver I want, seal the bottom, then come back and put it in this way and seal the middle. Then I have 2 pouches, and then I just put the month and the date. And then what I can do, which is what I'll do here, is I can go on the inside of that seal where this pouch is still going to be sealed, but this one will be open. Let me move this down a little bit. The nice thing is these break up a little bit, so I'm going to move that down. I'm going to cut this open. This pack is still sealed, ready to go back into my marked container where I have lots of goodies like dehydrated marshmallows. Remember these guys? And Gigi, she was so sweet. She was going to make oatmeal cookies one day. We were very excited. We don't know what happened, but something happened. Oatmeal cookie gremlin showed up. So the crumble that she came up with tasted really good. It just didn't hold together as a cookie. So we call it Gigi's granola. We packaged it in pouches, and it's great on yogurt. Cannot be found in stores. It's a one-off, but we hate to waste things. So anyway, this is how I go ahead and I label them. This one happens to be fruits and snacks because of the Gigi's granola and apple leathers that I also made. So we have those also sealed and in here. And I just love the convenience. We have a couple of vegetable ones. We have a couple of fruit ones. This is the only fruit and snack one. So here you go. These suckers just couldn't wait to come out. Delicious, tasty, yum, like candy. The lemon, it just shows right up. And I think the vanilla keeps it from tasting like that's got lemon in it. It's more like, what's that tart thing? You like sweet tarts? It's just citric acid. But it doesn't get you here. We like to crumble these up on granola. I put a little bit on vanilla ice cream. As a matter of fact, I made such a big batch last time that the juice that came from the apples and the lemon and the cinnamon and all the flavorings, there was quite a bit left. So I boiled it down on the stove and used it as a topping on the ice cream and a topping on our yogurt in the morning until that was gone. So nothing went to waste. This time around I didn't have anything left over. So there you have it, a simple, easy recipe for something delicious that you could pack as a snack and take with you, especially these days when you may not want to be eating out as much. It's a family hit. So if you try it, let us know. Please leave a message below in the comments or on the blog if you prefer going over to the blog, and tell us what you thought and what spices you ended up using. So this is Nikki D from 5 Dog Farm. Thank you so much for tuning in, and if you're a subscriber, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Y'all take care out there, and I'll talk to you soon. Yum.